Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, why does the top of my hair look so flat these days? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're exactly where you need to be. I remember having that moment myself not long ago. I was brushing my hair one quiet morning, and it just didn't sit right, not because it was messy, but because it looked tired. And I found myself thinking, this doesn't match how I feel inside. I felt vibrant, alive, but my hair wasn't reflecting that anymore. Over the years, I've discovered some truly helpful ways to bring life and lift back to thinning hair, especially around the crown, where many of us start to notice the change first. Subtle, gradual, but real. Today, I'm going to share 5 haircut ideas that can do wonders for crown volume. Not just what they are, but why they work, so you can make the best choice for your own beautiful hair. Before we begin, take a quiet moment with your reflection. How's your crown feeling lately? A little deflated? A bit too flat? That's okay. We're about to change that together. And stay with me till the end, because the final haircut on this list surprised me the most. It's soft, modern, and might just be the quiet solution your crown has been waiting for. And if you're curious to see which of these styles might suit you best, feel free to like the video or subscribe. Sometimes, the smallest shift, like a thoughtful haircut, brings back that spark we didn't even realize had dimmed. Let's begin with the first haircut. Let's start with a classic that's anything but boring, the layered bob. If you've ever felt like your hair just hangs there, no shape, no energy, this might be the gentle shift you've been waiting for. Now, this isn't the stiff, one-length bob we all remember from the 90s. This version has softness, shape, and most importantly, volume right where we want it, at the crown. Here's why it works so well for thinner hair after 60. The gentle layering through the top and back gives lift without making the ends look too wispy. Think of it like light scaffolding. It holds everything up, but you barely notice it's there. Another bonus, it sits beautifully just above the shoulders, which means it doesn't drag your face down, something many of us start to notice with longer hair as we age. My stylist once showed me a photo of a client in her 70s who had switched to a soft, layered bob. She said the woman cried after the cut because it was the first time her crown had shape again in over a decade. And if you have a slightly rounded neckline, this shape can really complement it, adding just the right amount of fullness in the back. It's structured, but it's soft, polished, but not fussy. And best of all, it creates the illusion of thicker hair without any harsh lines or heavy styling. But if you're curious about something shorter, something that gives instant lift without sacrificing softness, just wait until you see the next one. Now let's talk about something a little shorter and a whole lot lighter. There's a moment when long hair starts to feel less like a style and more like something you're holding on to, even when it's no longer holding you. If that resonates, this next cut might feel like a breath of fresh air, the textured pixie. This cut is a hidden gem for anyone dealing with thinning hair at the crown. Why? Because the shorter length instantly adds lift and shape, and the texture gives movement, which creates the feeling of fullness. What I love about a pixie like this is how versatile it can be. You can keep the sides soft and feminine, add a little fringe to frame the face, or sweep it back for a more polished look. And because the layers are shorter up top, they naturally stand up more, giving that lovely crown volume without needing much effort. There's also something incredibly freeing about this style. It says, I'm confident, I'm modern, and I'm not afraid to show off my features. At an outdoor concert, I met a woman with a snowy pixie and a red scarf. She told me she chose the cut after chemotherapy and said, I don't miss the old hair. This one feels more me than ever. If you've been holding on to length, but feel like it's just weighing your hair down or making your crown look even flatter, a pixie might be your next beautiful step. And trust me, short doesn't mean severe. With the right texture, it's soft, elegant, and very much your own. But what if you're not ready to go short and still want something just as lifting, but with a graceful twist? That's exactly what the next style offers. Next up, something a little unexpected, but still beautifully refined, the asymmetrical bob. Now I know, the word asymmetrical can feel a bit intimidating, like it's meant for fashion magazines or someone 10 years younger. But in reality, when done softly and subtly, it can bring balance and movement in the most flattering way. Here's how it works. One side is just slightly longer than the other, often paired with a soft side part. That gentle diagonal draws the eye down and across, giving your hair movement and direction, which makes thin areas, especially near the crown, look fuller. Even better, it frames the face in a really flattering way, especially if you want to soften a jawline or draw attention upward. And because the back stays closer to the nape, it holds that beautiful rounded shape we love, strong at the base, but light at the top. It's modern without being loud. It says, I know what works for me, and I'm not afraid to show it. A fashion blogger in her 60s once wrote that her asymmetrical bob helped her retire the word frumpy from her style vocabulary. And I think that's exactly what this cut does. I've seen women try this cut for the first time and walk just a little taller afterward, not because the world changed, but because the way they saw themselves did. And if you're drawn to softness, ease, and a bit of movement, wait until you meet the next cut. It's light, breezy, and wonderfully forgiving. Now, if you're someone who wants a little movement, something easy, a bit playful, a little undone, the modern shag might be calling your name. Sometimes we don't want sleek. We don't want structure. We just want our hair to feel like it's breathing again. And that's where this cut shines. This cut brings in soft, face-framing layers that lift the crown and break up heaviness around the face. It's especially helpful if your hair tends to lie flat or feels a little lifeless in the front. Those layers not only bring back shape, they bring back energy. The magic here is in the layering. It starts higher near the crown to give volume right where thinning usually happens, and then cascades downward with gentle pieces that move as you move. It's a style that doesn't require perfection. In fact, it's better when it's slightly tousled, making it ideal for hair that's lost a bit of density. You don't need to fight your hair. You let it live. My neighbor, she's 68 and teaches pottery, switched to a soft shag last year. She told me, now my hair matches the way I live. A little messy, but full of movement. And let's be honest, there's something wonderfully youthful about a shag, not in a trying to be 20 way, but in a light, breezy confidence. It's stylish, but forgiving, feminine, but unfussy. But if you're someone who still loves a clean silhouette, something polished yet easy, the next cut might be exactly what your crown has been craving. And finally, Let's talk about one of the most elegant and surprisingly easy options out there, the inverted lob. Have you ever wanted a haircut that simply looks like you've got it all together without spending your mornings trying to prove it? That's exactly what this cut offers. This cut is slightly longer in the front and gently shorter in the back, which creates natural lift around the crown and neckline. That shape alone gives the illusion of thicker, more supported hair, especially if yours has started to feel flat or fine through the top. The beauty of this lob is in the balance. The front keeps that graceful length we often feel more comfortable with, while the back does the work, lifting, shaping, and giving the whole cut a sense of structure. If your hair is finer at the ends, the stronger baseline of this cut helps it look more purposeful, not wispy. And if your crown is thinning, the stacked layers in the back give it a boost without making it look overlayered or choppy. During a museum tour, I overheard someone compliment a woman's hair. She turned and said, "It's just an inverted lob. Makes my fine hair look like it has something to say." I smiled the rest of the day. It's also one of the easiest cuts to style. A quick blow dry or a bit of curl at the ends, and it falls right into place. Elegant, modern, and polished, but still soft. It's a haircut that says, "I've arrived," quietly. Now, before you decide which one to try, let's make sure it fits your face just as beautifully as it fits your hair. Now, before you book that appointment, let's talk face shapes just briefly. If you have a round face, cuts like the inverted lob or asymmetrical bob can elongate and lift beautifully. For longer face shapes, styles with bangs or soft front layers, like the Shag or Pixie, help add width and balance. And if you're lucky enough to have an oval face, well, almost anything works. It's just a matter of preference. But here's the truth. Your face, your hair, your life, they've all evolved. This isn't about choosing the right haircut. It's about choosing the one that feels right. The one that makes you pause in the mirror and smile just a little more. Bring photos, talk openly with your stylist, and don't be afraid to try something new, especially if it brings a little more joy when you catch your reflection. Let me know in the comments, which one are you leaning toward? Which one sparked a little something inside? Was it the softness of the Shag? The quiet confidence of the lob? Or maybe that pixie that whispered, "You're ready"? Was it the softness of the Shag, the quiet confidence of the lob? Or maybe that pixie that whispered, "You're ready"? And if you found any part of this helpful, feel free to give it a like or share it with someone who might need a gentle nudge to try something fresh.